Most of us don't like to acknowledge reality. It can be very inconvenient for our carefully crafted ordering of the world. I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan with a reflection on life and liberty. A friend of mine likes to say that reality is an acquired taste, and he's right. The fact is, most of us don't like reality. Yet, without a clear-eyed assessment of where we are, we'll never successfully get to where we want to go. Usually, we paint for ourselves soothingly optimistic, rosy pictures of the world. Think about the middle-aged dad with a few extra tires around the middle who still, though, sees himself as the high school athlete he was 30 years earlier. Yet in the cultural politics of the 21st century, there is a constant push to paint a dismal view that is similarly detached from reality. This derives, I suspect, from the fact that we have elevated victimhood into a moral achievement. Practically, this has meant that a great many people spend their time trying to position themselves as victims. I see it all the time. This is driven by a misplaced view of success in political activism, where likes and shares on social media have replaced human interaction. And so we find ourselves in the curious position of some grass-top leaders wanting to be seen as perpetually victimized losers. Mass marketing doesn't help. A call to action is usually most successful when there's an injustice to be righted or a foe to be vanquished. The bigger the injustice, the greater the foe, the more urgent the call, the greater the likelihood for participation. Up to a point, anyway. Consider the example of the spies who entered the Promised Land as recounted in the book of Numbers. God had just miraculously led the people out of captivity in Egypt. They had seen wonders beyond description. As they approached the borders of the land that God said he was giving them, they sent in spies to, get a lay of the land, as it were. So far, so good. Several of those spies came back with exaggerated tales of impossible giants who would be impossible to overcome. They oversold their case of doom to the people. Rather than trust God and proceed to take the land, the people went wobbly and refused to move forward. As punishment for their cowardice, they wandered the desert for a generation. History would reveal those giants weren't quite so big, and victory was more attainable than those faithless spies reported. The same is true today. In the rush to claim the status of a victim, there are some who prefer to rhetorically snatch defeat from the jaws of victory at every opportunity. All evidence to the contrary be damned. Reality is always more nuanced than a social media post. Extreme victimhood might garner clicks and likes on X and Facebook, but it rarely builds a lasting, healthy movement. For us politically, reality means legislators we don't like can still pass legislation we do like. Reality means accepting that two things can be true at once. Wins can be achieved, and more needs to be done. For activism to be successful, we must present arguments and provide evidence based not on emotions, but on a clear-eyed assessment of reality. Lastly, it's exhausting being around perpetually whining losers. At some point, activists need to see that they are making a difference. Charting a successful path in our self-governing republic means honestly reporting to each other what's happened. The ugly, the bad, and, yes, even the good. The Reflections Podcast is presented by Texas Scorecard. If you like today's message, be sure to rate it, leave a review, and encourage your friends to listen. I'm Michael Quinn Sullivan. Thanks for listening.